औज़ुबिल्लाहिमिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम डियर स्टूडेंट्स, उम्मीद है आप खैरियत से होंगे। आपको मेरे यूट्यूब चैनल द स्टडी पॉइंट 85 पर खुश आमदीद। आज की वीडियो बायोलॉजी की बेसिक डेफिनेशंस के बारे में है। वीडियो पर जाने से पहले आप लोगों से गुजारिश है कि वीडियो को एंड तक ज़रूर देखें और इसको लाइक कमेंट और शेयर ज़रूर कीजिएगा। और आपने अभी तक चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो आपसे गुजारिश है कि चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें ताकि आपको और इंफॉर्मेटिव वीडियोस मिल सके। Ecology is the branch of biology that studies the relationships and interactions between living organisms and their environment. Biodiversity is the variety of living organisms on Earth, including the different species of plants, animals, microorganisms, their genes, and the ecosystem in which they live. Food chain. A food chain is a sequence of living organisms in which each organism is eaten by the next one, showing how energy and nutrients pass from one organism to another. Food web. A food web is a network of interconnected food chains that shows the feeding relationship among different organisms in an ecosystem. It describes how energy and nutrients pass from one organism to another through multiple food chains. Producer. A producer is an organism that can make its own food from simple inorganic substances, usually by photosynthesis using sunlight. Consumer. An organism that cannot make its own food and obtains energy by eating plants or other animals. Decomposer. An organism that breaks down dead plants, dead animals, and organic waste into simpler substances, returning nutrients to the environment. Habitat. A habitat is the natural home or environment where a living organism, plant, animal, or other living thing lives, grows, and reproduces. It provides the food, water, shelter, and space the organism needs to survive. Population. Population is the total number of people, animals, or other living organisms living in a particular area at a specific time. Community. A community is a group of populations of different species living and interacting with one another in the same habitat. Species. A species is a group of similar organisms that can naturally interbreed and produce fertile offspring. Genetic engineering. Genetic engineering is the process of deliberately changing an organism's DNA by adding, removing, or modifying genes to produce desired traits. Gene. A gene is a segment of DNA that carries the genetic information needed to produce a specific trait or function. Allele. Allele is one of the two or more alternative forms of a gene found at the same position on a chromosome. Mutation. A mutation is a permanent change in the DNA sequence of a gene or chromosome. Mutations can occur naturally during DNA replication or be caused by environmental factors such as radiation, chemicals, or certain viruses. Single cell protein. Single cell protein is a protein rich food or feed supplement produced from the biomass of microorganisms such as bacteria, yeast, fungi, and algae. Cellular respiration. Cellular respiration is the process by which cells break down glucose to release energy in the form of ATP, which powers cellular activities. Fermentation. Fermentation is a metabolic process in which microorganisms such as yeast or bacteria break down sugars to produce energy, usually in the absence of oxygen. Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants, algae, and some bacteria use sunlight to make their own food. They convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose and release oxygen as a byproduct. Fertilization. Fertilization is the process in which a male sperm cell fuses with a female egg to form a zygote, the first cell of a new individual. Double fertilization. Double fertilization is a unique process that occurs in flowering plants, angiosperms, in which two male gametes participate in two separate fusion events within the embryo sac. Osmosis. Osmosis is the movement of water molecules across a selectively permeable membrane from an area of higher water concentration to an area of lower water concentration until equilibrium is reached. Diffusion. Diffusion is the process by which particles such as molecules or ions move from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration until they are evenly distributed. It is a passive process, meaning it does not require energy. Active transport. Active transport is the movement of substances across a cell membrane from a region of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration against the concentration gradient using energy, usually in the form of ATP. Ecosystem. An ecosystem is a community of living organisms, plants, animals, and microorganisms interacting with each other and with their non living environment, air, water, soil, sunlight in a particular area.